You've seen these before. We're just going to go through them quick to review and get them back in your head, and then we'll do more with them in class later. First up, the carbon cycle. Why do we need carbon? Well, it's in everything. It's in all the molecules. Everything except water has carbon. So if we didn't have carbon, we wouldn't live. So for all these cycles, I picked a part to start with, but it is a cycle and it goes in a circle. So there is no specific starting point. So for carbon cycle, I'm going to start in the atmosphere where we have carbon in carbon dioxide in the air, carbon dioxide gas. Plants use carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. So you can see we did that. It's right there. And they take that carbon and turn it into sugars, right? Glucose. Then that carbon gets passed through a food chain. So something eats the plant and then eats that thing and then eats that thing and so on and so on. As animals breathe, and plants too, we're releasing out carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere and it can start over again. Or as organisms die, they will get decomposed and those organisms will breathe out and send the carbon back. So it goes atmosphere, plants, and animals back to the atmosphere. It also happens in oceans. This isn't on your notes, so I just wanted to let you know. Carbon dioxide actually really likes water. It will dissolve in it really easily. So the carbon cycle can also happen in the water, like we see in this picture. So if we're talking about on land, it goes to the plants, to the animals, back to the air. Plants, animals, air, plants, animals, air. And the same thing can happen in the water. One thing that humans are doing, which is kind of where we're going to take this later, is we're adding more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. We're going to see why it's not such a good thing. But for now, let's review water cycle. We know we need water. Our cells are made of water. Your body's 90% water. A lot of living things live in water. Water's important, right? So let's start with the liquid this time. Evaporation means when liquid water changes into a gas, water vapor. Transpiration is similar, but it's coming from plants. So when plants are doing photosynthesis, they're using water, and sometimes it just kind of comes out. It leaks out of the leaves. It happens. It's osmosis and diffusion. They can't stop that from happening. So if you have big areas like the Amazon rainforest, they can actually make whole clouds because there's so many plants doing so much transpiration. So now we have water in the air. Oops, sorry, I went the wrong way. It condenses into water droplets into clouds, which then, when the clouds get big enough, the water droplets get big enough, that falls back to earth as rain, snow, sleet, something. If it hits the ground and it can soak in, that's called infiltration. If it hits the ground and it can't soak in, like maybe there's too much water, or maybe it hits a car or a parking lot or a building or a person, then it runs off. And it can run off into like storm drains, streams, lakes, things like that. So we evaporate or evapotranspiration from plants that then is rained down or some other type of weather. It can either infiltrate into the ground or it can run off into other places. Got those? I know you've learned those both before. This was just supposed to be a quick review. But do let me know if you have any questions. We'll see more about this in class. No secret word for today, but thank you for listening. Maybe there'll be one next time. See you then.